Hello, my name is Ray Podominic from the Financial Aid Office at Vermilion Community College, and I'm here to provide you some helpful hints in the process of completing the FAFSA and the Financial Aid Award offer for the next school year, the 2020-2021 academic year. We also have Richard Larson, who also works in our Financial Aid Office here at Vermilion, and at the end of the presentation, we'll provide phone numbers and email addresses. I'd like to start off with that our website, the Financial Aid website on the Vermilion Community College general website, has a lot of useful links on completing the FAFSA, a couple other things that I'm going to talk about. Most of the links that you're going to need are right on the Financial Aid website page. And then the other important piece of information that we really like to tell students is the Vermilion Student College email address is the official form of communication. So students have to make sure that they're checking that periodically to getting updates from the Financial Aid Office or other areas on campus also. Okay, so I would say the first website that students and parents need to be familiar with is studentaid.gov. That's where you start the process of completing a FAFSA initially using your 2018 tax information. And the first initial step you're going to want to do is the student and one of the parents need to complete an FSA ID, which is a username and password where both of you log in to complete a FAFSA, and that's also you use that to do your electronic signature at the end when you submit your FAFSA. After you submit your FAFSA, we will receive the information and then we will communicate with you if there's any additional information that we need to complete the FAFSA project to determine your eligibility. And that may be anything from a signed copy of your tax return, verification of family size that you listed on the FAFSA, and also it could also include the number of the family members that you listed that are attending college. And then the other important thing on the studentaid.gov website is for students who are planning on taking out a student loan to help pay for their expenses here at Vermilion. That website is also where they complete entrance counseling and the master promissory note, which are two requirements for a student to actually receive a student loan. Additional information, if parents are looking at applying for a PLUS loan, that's also the website that the parents would log into with their username and password to complete a PLUS loan application. Payments for college, another popular avenue that we're seeing parents go through is called the Nelnet payment plan. And once again, that's also accessed through our Vermilion website through the student's e-services account. We're starting to see more and more families use the Nelnet payment plan where they can spread out their payments for the balance due to 3 or 4 payments depending on when they sign up. So as far as the studentaid.gov website, the initial FAFSA application, you can complete the entrance counseling master promissory note, and then you'll hear from us as far as if we need any additional information. And then the e-services account that each student here at Vermilion has access through our Vermilion website through current students and then log into e-services. I like to call it it's their student portal, and they will get an email notification when their financial aid offer is complete. They'll be able to view that in their e-services account using their star ID password to log in. And there's a couple questions that they're going to have to go through there's a menu bar on the left, and if you click on financial aid, that'll show you your award letter. And then there's also a link for the entrance counseling and master promissory note, also a link for bills and payments. So once a student has become registered for classes, turned in a housing contract, signed up for a meal plan, all of those charges you'll be able to view in the student's e-services account. Other thing about student loans, we don't assume that every student wants to take out a student loan. So also through their e-services account, they have to accept their student loans, depending on if they want to accept a full amount for the year or partial amounts. It'll give you the option to type in the amount that you would like to take out for your student loan. Also under this category of student loans, there's two different types of student loans, direct student loans. There's the subsidized and the unsubsidized direct student loans. The subsidized is where the government pays the interest while you're in school, so there's no interest accruing on that loan as long as you're enrolled in school continually. Whereas the unsubsidized, the loan starts gaining interest at the time of disbursement. So that whole time while you're enrolled in school, that loan is interest is compiling on that student loan. You can either pay it while you're in school, or you can just let it build up and then just pay it when you're done. Potentially part of your financial aid offer letter, if you're eligible for work study, which is basically a part-time job on campus, where students actually get a job on campus and they would get a paycheck every 2 weeks. But a student does have to show financial need based on your FAFSA to be eligible for work study. Couple important things to remember about being eligible to get paid for work study is a student does have to complete an I-9 form, which is going to require forms of identification. If a student has a passport, we need to see the original document, and then we make a copy of that, and that'll meet all the requirements for an I-9 form. If they do not have a passport, probably the other most common ways, students have to have two forms of identification. The most common forms there are a driver's license and a social security card. And once again, we need to see the actual documents, and then we make a copy of those and with the completion of the I-9 form. And then also a student will have to complete a W-4 form for withholding purposes also for the work study program in order to get paid. And then we also recommend students that they also set up a direct deposit account through their e-services, and the tab is student employment. Set up a direct deposit account. So your work study checks would go into your direct deposit, or if you were to have an overage check with your financial aid, that would also go directly into your direct deposit account. Then I think to finish up here the presentation, we will have our phone numbers listed on here for myself and Richard Larson, and also the financial aid email address. It's financial_aid@vcc.edu. Feel free to leave a voicemail because we are checking those typically every day. When we get into the peak period, sometimes it's difficult for the two of us to return a phone call the same day, but we try to do the best that we can. But the best way to contact us would be either through the voicemail, either myself or Richard, or the specific financial aid office email at financial_aid@vcc.edu. Thank you.